Welcome back. You're still tuned into Power Breakfast. Now, we were just going through the entire global setup. So let's bring our research team in and drill it down to all of the domestic cues as well. We have Mangalam, Vivek as well as Surbhi joining us now for the trade setup this morning. Guys, a very good morning to all of you. Vivek, let me come to you first. We were going through the global setup just a short while ago, but take us through everything that we should watch, especially after that quite terrible session that we had on Monday.
Well, absolutely right. After the brief respite that we had on Tuesday on account of lack of trading, what we're actually looking for today is some amount of a bounce back as far as markets are concerned. Global cues in that aspect have been quite supportive. Like you mentioned earlier, the US markets did see a bounce on Tuesday's trading session. One positive factor has been the fact that crude prices have continued their decline for the third straight session. Brent futures down over 2% and WTI futures down over 2.1% in yesterday's trading session. Now, coming to the Indian markets on Monday, did not paint a pretty picture. What actually happened was that the Sensex actually saw significant sell-off, 4-month lows. Nifty breached the 19,300 levels. All of these important levels, Nifty will have to recoup in today's trading session or in the sessions to come. However, where we actually saw the biggest pain was the broader end of the markets, both the mid-cap as well as the small caps actually saw significant fall, and it was the biggest fall as far as entire 2 months was concerned. Along with that, earnings that even missed analyst expectations were severely punished. Case in point being Laurus Labs. Even RBL Bank, mid-cap banks saw significant selling pressure as far as the second half of the trading session was concerned. But today, a lot of important cues. There will be result reaction. One important result was Torrent Pharma. A lot of important results lined up today. So names like Axis Bank, Tech-M, Jubilant Food, Industar, all of these companies will be declaring the results. Results heavy week ahead of us, and it'll be interesting to see how markets go ahead and respond to all of the numbers that do come in.
All right, we are going to watch for that very closely. In fact, let's bring Surbhi in because she's going to take us through all of the numbers in a little bit more detail. Surbhi, take us through all of the action on the stocks front.
So, hi, good morning. So, the first one is Torrent Pharma. Good numbers, inline performance. The revenues for Q2 were up 16% on a year-on-year basis. EBITDA came in at 825 crores versus 680 crores same time last year. And margins came in at 31%. PNB Housing, there were write-offs that aided the NPA. Asset quality, if you see, the gross NPA is down 52%. The net NPA is down 53.5% sequentially. Mahindra Logistics, the revenue was up 3%. EBITDA was down 20%. Margins came in at 3.9% versus 5% same time last year. Apart from the results, we have Delta Corp on our radar. The Goa bench of the Bombay High Court directs the GST Hyderabad not to pass final orders on the 16,195 crore tax notice. Vedanta will also be on our radar as Ajay Goel has been reappointed as the CFO with effect from October 30th. And as Vivek mentioned, we'll be watching out for Axis Bank, Jubilant Foodworks, Tech-M and Sona BLW as they'll be coming out with earnings today.
All right, we're going to watch for all of these stocks. Surbhi, thanks a lot for bringing us up to speed with all of that action. But let's also get a check on how things are looking on the futures and options side. Mangalam, Monday was extremely weak. Take us through what we are tracking this morning.
Well, it was a respite that we had a holiday on Tuesday, and as a result of which, there has been some cold towel treatment. The market's looking a lot better than what we left it on Monday itself. There was a big fall on Nifty and Nifty Bank, but that wasn't really the real story. If you just take a look at the way the mid-cap and the small-cap indices fell, that would tell you that the extent of the fall was a lot more in the broader markets. The portfolios felt a lot worse on Monday than the frontline index itself. But some respite today after the global markets have seen some bit of recovery. The bond yields have cooled off to 4.8 thereabouts as well. And the GIFT Nifty is indicating a 36 point uptick. The question is where we go from here. And out there, remember tomorrow is tomorrow is a Thursday and it is the series expiry. And in that, the FIs are still 74% short. In index options, the data point that stood out was them selling 3 lakh calls. This compares with just 30,000 puts that they've sold. That's telling you that any bounce back at the initial level will see some bit of a sell-off vociferously. And once it holds on to higher levels, then these call writers will actually have to unwind their positions, and that will lead the market higher itself. The FIs, have they positioned themselves for that? Yes, they have, because they bought 2.87 lakh calls as well, and they've unwound some of the long puts, booked profits out there too. The Nifty put-call ratio is a gauge of fear and greed. 0.7% is where the Nifty put-call ratio right now stands at. It suggests that market is at an oversold level, so we are expecting a bounce. Where does that bounce go all the way? Well, 19,400 call has seen a fair amount of writing for a premium of 40, 50 odd rupees. And we have the 19,500 call seeing some writing at around 20 rupees as well. We have the 100-day moving average of the Nifty at 19,400. So levels upwards of 19,450 might face some congestion, but at the lower level, we will see strong support around 19,250 and 19,300 itself. The Nifty Bank will have bounced back from the 200-day moving average in today's trading session. The question is whether it sustains above that or not. And finally, I'll just watch out for Delta Corp. It exited F&O ban on Monday, did well in an otherwise weak market, and now we have positive news as well.
All right, Mangalam, thanks a lot for taking us through all of those cues. That is the setup as we see it this morning. It is time for a short break, but on the other side, we're going to bring you up to speed with the latest in the conflict in West Asia and what it has meant for all of the commodities as well.